Hi, welcome to Revive Recipes. Today we are going to make tasty fruit tarts that, even though I like to use them in the spring and summer, you can really use them all year round. They're quick, they're easy, and yet they're very beautiful. So come along with us and let's make some fruit tarts. So today we're going to be making fruit tarts, and I love this because you can make it ahead of time. If you're pressed for time and you're having a dinner party and you don't want to be stressed over dessert, this is a simple, quick, easy dessert that you can make ahead of time and have it all ready to go. You can make it any time of year. I love this for spring and summer because it is light. It's spring and summery looking, but you can also use it any time of year. And I'm going to spoil our bed and breakfast guests with this dessert tonight. So let's get started. The ingredients are pretty simple. We are not going to roll out pastry layers and put in butter and refrigerate it for 30 minutes at a time and have it be an all-day process. We are going to use puff pastry right out of the box. You guys are going to learn to love this as much as I do. I use this a lot. It saves me a lot of time and it always turns out wonderful. So you get 2 sheets in this box. I've already opened this and used 1 sheet previously. Just pull out what you need and let it thaw and sit at room temperature for a few hours before you need it, and then it'll be ready to go. If you only need 1, like I did, you take the other one, leave it in the package, wrap it in plastic wrap, and stick it back in the freezer, and it'll stay good until you're ready to use it. So this is what we need. A little bit of flour down. Don't need very much because usually this comes already floured. You need 1 egg. You need a envelope of Knox unflavored gelatin. Tablespoon of water, tablespoon of cream, 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar, fruit of your choice, meant for garnish, and a little extra powdered sugar to sprinkle over the top. And in the refrigerator, chilling, I have my cup of whipped cream, the mixer bowl, and the mixer beater, the whip, so that it's cold. You want your bowl and your mixer to be very, very cold, and your cream. So that's sitting in the fridge. I don't have it out here. And a teaspoon of vanilla. So let's get started. So you're going to want to lay out your pastry and lay it out flat like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into quarters. And you can use a little roller if you have one. And you want to make them as even as possible. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these and we're going to fold it in half diagonally to form a triangle. Okay, do you see that? And it will have the little fold in it from when it was folded in the package. That's okay. And turn it over. You want it to be as even as possible, and so if you have this little extra, go ahead and just trim it off. That's not bad. All right, and then starting on the folded side, and I'm going to turn it towards me because I need to be able to see what I'm doing here. You're going to cut so that you have a strip, but don't go all the way to the end. Leave this corner alone. Okay, so we're going to cut this just straight like that. And then we're going to cut again. Do not touch that cut, okay? So we're going to just leave it intact right there, and we're going to cut it again, okay? So you see that? You'll see it again when I do the others. Then we're going to open it up, and we're going to take the two ends. Now remember, we had it folded this way and we started our cut here, so we have a loose end. We're going to open this up and leave that there. Take the outer edges and we're going to tuck them under each other like that and bring it down. And we want a little bit of water, so we're going to put just a dab of water right there and a dab of water right there to help hold it down. See? Just like that. And then that one is done. And we can put it right on the pan. All right, let's do it again. I'm going to take this, fold it into a triangle. And then we're going to cut it. And cut it again. Remember, we don't want it to touch. We don't want to go all the way to the end, but we do want to cut through both layers. Okay, then we're going to open it up. And we'll do it from this angle this time. Bring this one up, crisscross, and down. And then just put a little dab of water. That's so that it'll stick. And a little dab of water. Can you see where I'm doing that? Right there. And then, oops, I'm going to bring that all the way over. Just like that. Okay. And let's do another one. We have 4 here, so we're going to do all 4. Okay, now we're just going to take the egg, we're going to beat it a little bit, and we're going to do an egg wash over the top. This will give it a pretty little golden texture when it bakes. And we're going to pop these in the oven at 400 degrees and let them bake. All right, in they go. Okay, we pulled these out of the oven and take a look at them. They're just about cooled off now. Don't they look beautiful? Oh, I had it tipped. So one of the things I want to show you real quick is when you pull them out, this top piece in the middle will be puffed up as well. We're just going to take our finger and just push it down like that because we want a pocket. We want somewhere to put our good filling and our fruit. So we're just going to push that down, and I've already done that on these others. But don't these look beautiful? And can you see those gorgeous layers? Look at that. So light, so crispy. Okay, so now we're ready to make our stabilized whipping cream. You guys, you're going to love this because you can make this ahead of time. And you can put it in your refrigerator for up to 3 days. It doesn't weep, it doesn't lose its shape or its texture like traditional whipped cream does. And it's so easy to make. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, if you entertain, this is going to be a lifesaver. And if there's any left over, all you do is pipe it into a cookie sheet lined with wax paper or parchment paper, put it in the freezer and freeze it. And then all you have to do is, once it's frozen, pull it out, stick it in a Ziploc bag or some kind of freezer container. Whenever you have hot chocolate, super easy, just open the lid, pull one out, drop it on top of your hot chocolate. Anytime you need a whipped cream dessert, all you have to do is pull one out, put it on top of your dessert and let it thaw, ready to go. It holds its shape, it's beautiful, it's great, and it tastes wonderful. There's no texture change. You guys are gonna love this. Like I said, we use gelatin, unflavored gelatin. Now there is another way you can do this. You can use cornstarch. You can use a tablespoon of vanilla pudding. It'll make your cream more creamy than whipped. And there's a few other things you can use, but it'll turn your whipping cream kind of grainy. So this is the best I have found. It holds the shape. There's no flavor. There's no real change in texture other than your whipping cream is nice and firm. And it's beautiful. You can pipe it on top of cupcakes and put them in your fridge and save them for tomorrow. And they're perfect. They hold the shape. You can do the same thing with cake. Frost a cake with it. Put it in the layers. Next day, pull it out of the fridge. It's ready to go. You don't have to do anything different to it. So, how do we do this marvelous whipping cream? Take your unflavored gelatin, and we just need 1 teaspoon. Each of these packets hold 2.5 teaspoons. We don't need the whole thing. So we're gonna just take 1 teaspoon, just like that. And then we're going to just sprinkle it right over the top of our tablespoon of water. See that? And then we want to leave it to bloom. That's what they call it. It needs to get all wet. I'm just swirling it around here a little bit, trying to get the rest of that powder down in that water. Now, if you need to, you can just kind of stir it up a little bit just to make sure you get that in there. All right, now here's the deal. We're gonna leave this sit for 5 minutes. And then we're gonna come back to it in 5 minutes. So in the meantime, we're gonna start the whipping cream. Here's our 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar and our vanilla. Remember, I said we had to keep the whipping cream cold. So we're gonna get it out of the fridge. My bowl's nice and cold. My whip is nice and cold. And my cream is nice and cold. So now we're going to beat this until we get little bubbles on the top. Alright, so now we've got it, I'll lower this so you can see it. It's still, if you look at it, it's still creamy. It's not fluffy yet, but that's where we want it because we're going to add our vanilla. We need 1 teaspoon. And I eyeball it, guys. You can put it, you can use a measuring spoon if you want. Truth be told, I seldom really measure anything. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this on again and slowly sprinkle my powdered sugar in. Okay, so now we have soft peaks, and I want to show you, look at this. Can you see that it's just forming a soft peak? That's what we want. Now we're going to take our gelatin, and we're going to put this in the microwave for 5 seconds. Watch your microwaves. You don't want to overcook it, but you want it to be dissolved. All right, so you can see I probably could have put it in for just a additional 2 seconds, but now we have dissolved gelatin, and it's really important that you give it that 5-minute bloom time. Otherwise you're going to end up curdling your whipped cream. All right, now to this, remember we had a tablespoon of cream set aside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly pour the cream into my gelatin, because we don't want to curdle our whipped cream, and so we are tempering our gelatin. That way we can pour it into our whipped cream and finish whipping. So now we're going to pour this in. We're going to turn the mixer back on, and we're going to pour this in while it's mixing until we get the texture of whipping cream that we want. Okay, that looks done. Take this out. But you can see we've got whipped cream now, and this whipped cream is going to hold its texture and shape. Sorry about that loud banging. Is going to hold its texture and shape, because we don't know when the guests are actually going to get back in this evening and be ready for dessert. So I'm making this up now, and it'll hold its texture and its shape, and it won't melt inside of the dessert. So I've got my little piping bag right here, and I have misplaced my little star tip that I like to put on the end. Can't seem to find it. So I've just cut the tip off of this piping bag, and for this use that's okay. It's going to be, the whipping cream is going to be covered in fruit anyway, and so we won't really see the fancy design anyway. Now if you don't have a piping bag, if you don't have anything like that, a Ziploc bag with the corner cut off will work just fine. I just want to get it all out of that bowl, because this is yummy. Now remember, this doesn't change the flavor at all. And I'm just going to push it all down. And this glass holds my bag nice and handy for me. All right, can you see? Now we're going to put it inside our delicious pastries. So here we go. And squeeze and just fill up every crevice. Fill it all the way up. Look at that. And then this one, I got a little air in there. Oh. I get air in the bag. Oh, this one has a nice big pocket. All right, look at that. Put a little dab on here. Another dab just right on the top. All right. There we go. Now we're ready for the fruit. And I have sliced strawberries. I have blueberries, I have kiwi. You can use whatever fruit you want to. And we're just gonna put it right in here, kind of make it a pretty little design. Maybe put a couple of blueberry. I know, let's put the kiwi next. Then we'll put the blueberries. Couple blueberries. And then I have our mint sitting in some nice cool ice water. Dab it off. And let's just stick the mint. Where should we put it? How about right here? How's that? Does that look pretty? Now you guys can do it however you want to. We're going to sprinkle a little bit powdered sugar. You can do it with your fingers, or I've got this handy little sieve here. And it's okay to get it on the fruit because it'll dissolve and be nice and shiny. How pretty is this, you guys? Look at that. Who's ready? Who's ready to eat some? Boy, I tell ya, doesn't that look yummy? And if you put your mint in a little bit of ice water, it'll make them stick up nice and pretty. No wilty mint leaves. There you go. This is so flaky. Look at that, you guys. Look at those layers. All right, here you go. Isn't that beautiful? I think we need to try one. What do you think? We'll take this little guy. Yes, a little bit of whipped cream. Finger food, right? This is really good. So you guys have fun making this. Like I said, super easy, super pretty. You'll impress your guests or family, and quick, easy treat you can make right at home, and you don't have to go to the bakery for. So have some fun, enjoy this little bit of spring encouragement, and remember, spring and summer is coming. It's just around the corner. Have a good day.